Hey, 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 what's happening? Chad Allen here, and today I'm coming to you live from my amazing AI studio. It's not a real background, it's a virtual background, but today I want to share with you about some things that have been on my mind, some things that I believe uh, can really help the family, that can really propel um, the nation as a whole. Because when you look at the world as a whole, it's gone crazy, it's gone mad, and it seems like maybe the only way that things can get back uh, to where they need to be, where the level of craziness out there, like the complete denial of God, the complete denial of the family, the destruction of the father, the children. Out there, there's a lot of wokeness that is taking place. In our not just in America but across the world. And so I want to share some things that have been really put uh, on my heart, in my mind, and maybe this is something that God is pushing me to carry on. Uh, so I just wanted to share this with you because I think it is important, and it's also why I have been pushing some of like the t-shirts that I have been pushing. I've been making some comments about fatherhood as well. If you look on my Facebook live feed, you would definitely see that there. So if you have any questions or anything like that, I mean, feel free to comment below. If I don't get to it within this stream, then I will certainly do my best to get to it at the end of the live stream here. So you'll be able to watch, or if you're watching the recording, don't feel bad. Don't feel like don't feel bad about leaving a comment. Thinking that you're watching it live. Just leave a comment, and I'll do my best to get to that. There's some other ways that you can also support me as continue to push this narrative forward, net about manhood and fatherhood, and really work on trying to save the family. As you can certainly support me by buying these T-shirts and showing your pride as a father. And if you just not showing your pride as a father, but we also have uh, T-shirts for the ladies, and the Proverbs 31 mom T-shirts that you can check out. You just gotta go to that link right there. That you can copy the QR code just by scanning it with your phone, or you can go to maganda outlet.com. That's MAGANDA outlet OUTLET.com, and then you could definitely check those out uh, while you're watching the stream, and maybe decide to get yourself a pretty awesome shirt. And you'll notice that as we go through the stream, you're gonna understand why I have certain um things underneath. I'll say dad creed, and it say blessing my child since birth. The dad creed, breaking generational curses. The dad creed, father of the nation. The dad creed, training my child, right? Training up my child or something like that. And you have like the ones like Proverbs 22:6 and stuff like that. So these are meant to help you as a father to really become the kind of dad that you're hoping to be, that you wear it proudly, you're taking it seriously, with that. Also, if you were to purchase a one of the shirts today, whether it be the Daiquiri shirt or Proverbs 31 mom shirt, there, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a promo there that if you were to you can pick out the shirt and then also the book, and you get my free book, the Dad Creed book. Where is that thing? You'll get that for free. Okay, so all you got to do is go to the website, scan the QR code for that as well. So let's go ahead and get started about what it is that has been deep on my mind and my heart, because I really believe that God is calling us as a people to bring back the Father. Some of that is the Father's own doing, the Dad's own doing, because uh, you know the attack on fatherhood has made it such a way where dads can get out easily, right? They can just go out and do their thing. And other times it's because of the mom or the women that are out there, and they're attacking manhood, and they're attacking the father, the feminists, that are out there. The governments, also doing the same. And you have to ask yourself why, like in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, 90s, why was fathers, dads, within the family unit being attacked so hard by the feminists, by the communists, by the Marxists and others? Why was it being made so easily to attack the father, first before they can get to the children and to the moms? So you, so since that time when they attacked the dads and the fathers, they have been able to degrade the man, right? You see in Hollywood, you see in other places where the man is seen weak, subpar to the woman, subpar to whatever, whatever's going on. You know, the man is not as, according to them, is not to be taken seriously. Uh, Dads and fathers are just something that gets in the way. It doesn't define the family, any longer. And but that is certainly not God's design, right? So you have to ask yourself, why were fathers, dads being attacked? And then you have to ask yourself, how was it so easy for the man and the father to step away from their supposed position, right? Their position as dad. Why was it made so easy for them to step away from what they are actually called to do, right? Called to be. And so we have to look at it, from a sin fallen world that has been put on us, right? As men, like there's a sin fallen world. See, when man ate the fruit, right? The woman ate the fruit, and the man ate the fruit, and when that happened, of course, the eyes were open, right? It just talks about, the eyes, were open. So when that happened, God, looks for them, and they were naked, and they were ashamed of themselves. So there's a lot of shame, taking place now, right? But who did God go after first? If the woman was the one who ate the fruit first, and then the man ate the fruit, who was it that God sought after first? Obviously it was the man, right? Because when God created the man first, and then from man, God created the woman and brought the woman to the man, and Adam named her Eve because she was going to be the mother of all flesh, right? So So from man came the woman, and from the woman and the man came then all the generations of life, from that time until now. And so when we're talking about things on a spiritual level, we have to see it from how God created all things. So if God created the heavens and earth, created the animals, created man in his likeness, created the woman because he saw that man was not happy to be by himself, so he needed a helper. So he brought the woman to the man. So you have to ask yourself, if God created the man, right? And then he created the woman as the helper. So who is the one person that is responsible for everything that goes on in the family? Who is the hedge, the protector, of that family as a unit? And why is it so important for the father, the dad, to be taken out first and foremost? You have to ask yourself, right? Because if Christ is the head of the man is the head of his family, and head of the children are certainly the mom, right? So there's like an order that comes down that's created, a created order, that takes place. So you as a man, you as a father, has to be taken out of the way because you are the head, the protector. You are the hedge against things that are evil. Now, what happens when the man is taken out, whether it be through pornography, whether it be through not being emotionally present with the children because they are also broken, not being physically present because they've been taken out completely of the life of the children and the wife, you know, or whatever is going on in that life, right? Whatever's going on, they are not able to be that hedge protector. Why? Because there's been a lot of things like through entertainment and whatever that's been able to take away the father's role as a contender. So this is why, like, when you're talking about cheating, like, when a man cheats or a woman cheats, when um, a man or the wife is in pornography, when the man or wife is in some kind of witchcraft that's taking place, it opens the door where the child that they have is no longer protected by the overall hedge because what marriage is there not only to make the husband and wife as one flesh, but it's also there when children are born that it protects them from the evil things of the world until there's like an age of accountability that takes place where you know they are now on their own. So we have to we have to understand that, right? So I get this really strong feeling, and it's been on my mind for the last actually, it's been on my mind since I gotten back from the Philippines, to be honest. But I've always ignored it, and I never really pressed it through with it until recently that I started really understanding. And maybe it's because I started creating like the dad creed, and I wrote the book, this book right here, and because like in this particular book, what happens is you are creating a dad creed, for yourself, to be able to say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm committed to doing and helping my child, grow to be this very successful person, to be, and when I talk about success, I'm not talking about financial success, although that could be a something that could happen from everything. When I talk about success, I'm talking about success on the spiritual level, things on the physical level where there's mentally sound, that kind of thing. And So no, this becomes very very important. And so like so anyway, so going back to the like in the Philippines, I always felt that there was like okay a call for like men of integrity. If you go back on my past videos, you would see that. It's like I talk about that, but I don't know, for some reason I never really shared it for some reason. I don't know why. And then so it's been in my heart more because I've seen the country's really gone downhill. The U.S. is really on a deep decline. And I'm realizing that it's not really about the presidential elections. Those are all things that are important. The world economic situation where now, like looking at the Dow Jones and the Nikkei and all these other stock markets, those are yeah they're important, but it's not going to stop the family, right? But what is stopping the family, right? What is stopping the family from being successful? What is stopping the children of our nation from being successful and not being a hot mess, where they're picking up guns and shooting up, schools, or they're having like some major breakdown, nervous breakdown and whatnot. So you got to ask yourself, all these things, the children are being attacked, transgender, the all this other crazy things that are taking place. Well, why are these things happening? Didn't God say that if you did not train your children in the way that if you don't train them in the way, they're going to depart. So train your child in the way that they should go, and they will not depart later in life. But what's happening? Children are not being trained, right? They're not being protected. There's no longer a hedge there keeping them from the things, the evilness that is coming in, and and keeping them from realizing their full potential. So instead, because the father has been taken out, whether it's self-inflicted or or inflicted by war or inflicted by uh, division between the husband and wife, divorce, whatever. It's not no longer there, right? So what's happening with the children? What's happening with the kids? They don't have a role model for a father. They don't. They're not going. They don't really have a role model for the mom. They're going crazy. They're listening to this to society. They're listening to things. Their friends because they're all messed up too. So not only are your kids messed up, but that your kids' friends are messed up. They're all messed up. Mentally, they're all messed up. And when you're mentally messed up, it's usually because of the spiritual cause that's causing them to be messed up. So really, the only way that can really be healed and be brought back from you saying is to have deep understanding of Christ. It's to be with God, to trust God and everything that there is, because there is a a humongous issue taking place right now where there is no stability. There's no calmness. There's no uh, hopefulness. Right? Nobody. There's a lot of sadness in the world. A lot of sadness in the U.S. Just look around. Look on social media. A lot of sadness. A lot of brokenness. A lot of anger. Why? Could it be because the God? Could it be because that whether it be self-inflicted or not self-inflicted, that the father has been taken out of 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 the family? Hey, and I don't blame moms or because they got a hard job. Just imagine being a single parent, a single mom, or even a single dad. But imagine being a single mom with boys, with your girls. Who's the role model, right? Because let's be honest, a woman cannot be a great role model for a boy who needs a man to be that role model. And if the man that is supposed to be the role model is a druggie or a deadbeat dad or whatever, he don't have a great role model there, right? He doesn't have a great role model because it's self he the dad is a self-inflicted horror story, and so there's nothing there. So he has to find a way to get that attention and to get that role model from somebody else. He who does that end up being? It's typically not someone from a church, although it can happen. Typically, it's gonna be for somebody from a peer, right? It's like, an older individual, maybe someone who's like in a gang or someone a druggie, and they end up falling into for the same thing, right? So, when you have, like, a father and you have a dad that is really, committed, to his family, maybe and hopefully he's in Christ, and he takes that role model, from Christ, because Christ is his head, and then to be the spiritual head of his family, the father, taking his role seriously, and that creates that hedge of protection. And so when the dad is a role model, he's giving that individual, his child, uh, what it means to be a man, or for the woman, what it means to have a man in their life that's going to really be a man of integrity, right? Now, they're not going to want you to hear this stuff, right? Because why? It's all about wokeness. It's all about, transgender, women, like, men pretending to be women who are beating up women in competitions, right? Going into female bathrooms or vice versa, where you have like a transgender man, whatever, and they're going into a man's bathroom. It's like it's a messed up world, and that's happening because the father has been taken out of the family for the most part, enough to the point where society has become a mess, has become spiritually on decline. And so we have to create a movement, y'all. We have to create a movement of dads that's going to take their dadness, that's going to take the fatherhood that is part of their life, and take it seriously and raise up the children in the ways of Christ and bring back a nation. Because the foundation of every nation is the family. But if you take out the father from that family, then it gives way for them to attack the children like it is happening now. And when the children are starting being attacked, right, the nation begins to fall because why? There's no more unity of the family. There's no more stability in the world. The world has gone mad, and the only way it seems right now, when we're looking at things and everything's going crazy, like the only thing that it might be able to come back to normal is, unfortunately, a war, a bloody conflict, in order to humble people to the point where they turn themselves back to God. Do you really want a global conflict in order for judgment to come about? Or do you want to take a stand now, stand in the gap for your country, stand in the gap for your family, and be the dad, be um, the father that you are called to be? Because that's your purpose. That is your purpose as a man. You know, as men, what we were called to be, providers of our family, right? As men, what are we called to be? Protectors of our family. We're supposed to be protecting. That means there's a hedge over your family. That means when you are in Christ and you are the spiritual head of your family, and you are taking that role, seriously. It helps keep away. It helps keep away the evil one from your family. It does, because you are the spiritual head. And when you are sit there and you're talking to your children, you're blessing them, and you're giving them a sense of identity and a sense of purpose. You are affirming their birth gender, right? You're affirming their birth gender. And what happens? They start becoming men that they're supposed to be. They start becoming women that they're supposed to be. These are the things that are important, right? You need to take your dad in seriously, and we need to be able to, uh, we need to really create this kind of movement where we take we create our own dad's creed, and we say, hey, this is what we want. This is how I'm going to take care of my family. This is how I'm going to protect my family. I'm going to be the hedge, for my family, the protector of my family. Because according to Christ, this is what I am called to be. This is my purpose to go out, and be married to an amazing wife, right? To have children, to multiply. This is our call, right? We are called to do this. We are appointed for this very purpose. When when you have those out there promoting the idea of abortion, the why is that being allowed, right? That's like a very devilish thing. It's a very, very devilish thing to be able to want to kill the unborn baby. It's devilish. I'm not blaming like the woman who is scared and stuff like that. They're scared, but at the same time, the evilness has gotten into her mind, right? Has foregone the husband in some cases, in like many cases. Don't only ask the dad, the dad to be, and stuff like that. And then there's this level of, they have this level of fear, and they don't want to do it, but they go through it because they're afraid. And shame on the Planned Parenthood and all these other evil organizations out there that promotes this stuff and push these women into fear. And shame on them. If the dad to be doesn't even know about, because I guarantee you, for most cases, if the guy knew about the pregnancy, he would want to carry it on. In most cases, he would want he would want to have that child to be his own. Why? Because as a father, especially if you're married, especially if you're when you're married and you have children, the first biggest and most amazing thing in any man's life, right, is having a wife. Having a wife. It really is. It is one of the single most greatest accomplishments in a man's life is to have a wife. Why? It brings a sense of purpose to you, to the man. The man feels like he has a sense of purpose. It gives pride to the man. It, uh, it helps him to have a better direction in his life, right? This is why. And so when you get married, this is what happens. Like the man say, I feel accomplished. I feel like a man. I feel, you know, you want to say like puffed up or anything like that. But you're in Christ. You are, you're standing tall, right? You're like, man, this is what it's meant. This is what I'm meant for. Wait, why did I wait so long to get married? This is what I was meant for. You know, Instead of getting married at age 30, I should have been married at age 20. This is how it is, right? And the same thing happens for the woman. I would assume that it's one of the greatest things in life to be married because you have joined to become one. So when divorce happens, it is the most egregious thing in the world, because most divorces are not because of someone who cheated. Although that's probably a lot of it, right? Some of it, of course, it is some of it. But we just didn't get along. Well, I just didn't do this. I mean, it's just like, so you had this, like, why? what happened, like, when you first got married? "Oh, is that the woman I thought she was?" Or, "Is that the man that I thought, he was?" Well, no, you when you got married, like, what was it when you first when you first got married, like, what was it? Well, why did you get married in the first place? You know? So most marriages in essence, when they start breaking down, it's because of bad communication. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The second thing is because you stop chasing your wife. You stop chasing her. You stop wanting to be with her. So when you get married, it's 100% still, right? Of chasing your wife, making her feel, important at all times. That's what keeps a marriage going, right? It's what keeps things going and flowing. As you as the man, you as the father, you are supposed to be the spiritual head of your family. You need to act like the leader of your family. That also means being the head of your marriage, because you are the example of your marriage, right? Because Christ is the example, then it's you. So you always got to be pursuing your wife at all times, no matter what. And then when you have children, right? This is the second greatest moment of a man's life, is when he starts having children, especially when it's in marriage. Why? Because it comes from your own body, right? It's coming from your own flesh, and it's a wonderful and beautiful thing to know that, wow, I have I have sons or I have daughters, and they're part of who I am, as an individual. I am fulfilling, God's purpose in my life by becoming one flesh with my wife, having children, multiplying. It's all part of God's purpose, for our life. That's us. So what So when our children are there, it's how it gives us even more purpose and even more, pride, and more, we want to stand up and want to be strong, because we have a generation of young ones in our life, and we are trying to do our best to provide for them. And And see, part of that, so we're trying to provide for them. What happens when we try to do that? Sometimes we take that, as guys, as men, we take that a little bit too far, right? We forget about the emotional aspect. We forget about the physical aspect, because we're always trying to provide for our family. But we have to strike a balance there, right? We need to be balanced in our life, and being balanced means we are that we are there emotionally. We need to be there with our children emotionally, and with our wife emotionally. We are there physically when we need to be there physically with our family, as wife and children. We are there at all times. So, you know, I want you to really think about this, guys, okay? Because we need to take back our family. We need to take back our family. We need to stand in the gap for our family. We need to do what God is calling us to do within our family. This is how you're going to stop wokeness, and this is how you're going to save a nation. It's not by these other ways, It's not by the other ways. The only way that you're going to save the nation and save your family is that you, as a father, as a dad, stand in the gap for your family and nation. It's the only way. When you stand in the gap as a father in the nation for your family, guess what happens? Your wife is there with you. Your children are there with you. They're there with you. And then what happens? Other dads see that. Other moms see that. Other children see that. And what are they going to do? They're going to follow your lead. And then there's this great movement that takes place. Why? Because God sees it and he's saying, I'm going to bless this. And we're going to save this nation. We're going to save the family unit. We're going to bring the family back so that our children and generations to come are no longer being taken away by by this evilness that's out there, this bad doctrine that's out there that's keeping your children at bay mentally, is taking them captive and has taken them completely away. So it's your responsibility to save your family. And so I call upon you, dads, and we're going to talk about this more. I'm going to be more organized as well. Take a stand, okay? Stand in the gap for your family. And then I hope that you will also get this shirt here, okay? Right there, okay? And wear it proudly. See, I'm wearing mine right here. See the that grade breaking generational curses. You know, and so it's a comfortable shirt as well. So it's really, really comfortable. But wear this proudly as a reminder to yourself that you are taking your dad this seriously. You're taking the role of being a dad, a father, very, very seriously for your family. You're going to be standing in the gap, and you're going to be uh, s- saving your family. We're gonna have. My goal is to have uh, many things, like talk about many different aspects of this because this is just like a general thing, and it's not really meant to give any kind of trustees on the subject or anything like that. You know, maybe we could get some people on. We could talk about more. We could have some biblical type studies, or we could talk about some studies that come out. We could talk about some ideas that are out there where we can actually uh, begin to have a positive effect on dads, and then it really, press this idea of movement, the dad grief movement, much, much, much further. So, and like I said, if you like the shirts here, you click on that QR code right there. You scroll down a little bit on when you click on a shirt, you get a free book on the dad creed. It's there. You just kind of make sure you put it together, so that you get the book for free. That's like a $4 or $5 value that you get for free when you order a shirt from my store. So I'm so grateful and honored that I'm here with you, and I look forward to having more of these with you in the very near future. And I hope you have an awesome, awesome day. Remember, take your dadness seriously, and because you want that to be able to impact your children, impact the nation as a whole. So this is the Dad Creed. All right, take care, y'all. Y'all have a great one. Take care. Bye bye. If I can find it. Oh, sorry, I know we're still going on, but I was sick, and I'm trying to figure this out. Um, and this.